だからスバルくんのせいです。ゴロゴロゴロゴロゴロゴロゴロゴロゴロ。
Let's see what's going here. Oh, school days. You know, I've heard of school days. Let's give it a go. Of course, you gotta have your snack ready, right? Obviously. So you've got your MC right there, his interest right there, and then the girl that's his friend that's trying to hook him up with this love interest of his right now. And this is the first episode, and so far you get this feeling that he's kind of a bitch. The girl that's his friend likes him, and that this girl that he's interested in is just this shy, loserish girl that's probably totally crazy. But we're just getting started. Then, like I expected earlier, we find out, he's like, I'll do anything for hooking us up. And then look, she gives him the smooch. As predicted, I've heard a little bit about the show, but so far, it's extremely predictable. But we're in the first episode. Let's not just jump to conclusions, right? Because, it usually takes 2 to 3 episodes for things to happen. So, we continue on. So we're on to episode 2 now, and they go on a date. And he's just expecting to get a kiss from her. And she's just like, well, I'm here. But nah, that ain't for me quite yet. So at this point now, he has attempted a second kiss on her, and he got slapped while watching a romance movie for a date that the friend recommended to think, oh, maybe they'll get closer together. But it didn't work, and now she's also questioning his friendship with the friend and getting jealous and everything. So there is also that. So the structural plot is definitely getting heated, if you know what I mean. So here we are, he's waiting at the train station to apologize for being too straightforward with her, because, she apparently hates, or doesn't exactly get along with most men, because she's had, big old pie since she was in primary school. So the friend's helping out, trying to see what the hell's wrong. She's trying to dip out from the train station, not talk to him. And it's just, it's like, you think it's gonna go to plan, but I got a gut feeling he's just gonna be a hoe about this, and that's what's gonna make it the most interesting to me. So we're gonna see where this continues off to. Okay, so she actually went to the train station and they kissed and made up. Go figure. You never get a smart couple in the beginning, but then the real kicker is, right, the friend, right, is chilling in the background watching this whole thing go down right there, and then just disappears. End of episode. On to the next chapter. This episode so far in the next adventure has got me seriously peeved, okay? So, essentially nothing happens this episode, right? And then, like, how do I put this? So, the only climax is that all the friends think that him and her are dating, but obviously they're not dating. And then he goes on like a date with her to her house to meet her little sister, and like her little sister's fucking just riding him and just going crazy. And then they get to the train station, right? And he's expecting a kiss on the lips, and then she gives him a kiss on the cheek. And then the best part of this episode, I guess you could have just skipped this whole episode, not missed a thing, right? Because I think that's gonna be the common trend here. But like, the friend's like, it's the beginning, and he's like, the beginning, yeah. Dating her is kind of tiring. Like, what a solid slap to the face, my goodness. So this episode ends up getting a little saucier. They're at the top of the roof at lunch, and they're making out, and he decides to try to go to the next base and squeeze her opie. and she's not quite ready for that. So, like, you know, it gets a little awkward. And then, like, he's like, you know, I don't know what to do. So she, the friend, ends up like staying for some special training. So that's all going on. The girlfriend goes home, and her mother offers her these tickets that her father had to go to the aquarium. So she's all trying to build the guts to go, and because she always feels bad about it, even though he's the one pushing everything onto her. And the friend that's supposed to be helping this special training is like the fact that like they pretty much got to almost second base, man. Like her shirt was unbuttoned, freaking blouse see right up, you know. And this whole time the girlfriend's like thinking, you know, oh man, I feel bad about this. Well, he's fucking around like that. And at the end of the episode, as you see in there, my goodness, right? Like he sees her and she's like, oh, let's go to the aquarium Sunday. He's like, yeah. And the girl with the special training's back there, the friend, she's like, oh my god, this is just not gonna end well at all for anybody. So let's keep going. Now, you know, you got like the Jackson 5 and the Fantastic Four. You've got the Immiscible 3 here. Okay, so they went to the water park. Everything was Gucci. It's starting to show that he clearly, as we've been noticing, is falling in love for his best friend. And of course, she's in the middle of this because she's always had feelings for him. But he's the fucking idiot that went and loved his other girl that's his girlfriend right now. But she's kind of picking up, I think, on it, because she's like, oh my gosh, I don't think he likes me anymore. Even now she's becoming the woman that he wanted her to be, like a kind of like you know, more open pervertedness, you know. And he's over here like, oh my god, our training was so amazing, I love you. And like now he's all up in her junk, and of course she feels bad because that's her friend and she was helping him all along. And now like she's trying to give in to the desires, and she ends up giving in to the desires. So now it's like, oh my god, you've got this 3-ring circus, and we're only about halfway done with the dang show. Oh my gosh. Lot to unpack this episode. So much that I honestly was like, in the beginning, kind of like, this is pretty mid. And by the end of it, I'm sitting at the edge of the bed wanting to throw my cell phone through my fucking TV and asking myself, what did I get myself into at this halfway point? So here's what's going down, okay? These two, the friend and the dude, so Sekai, she is essentially becoming, they're kind of becoming on and off F buddies, right? And like, she's coming to the guilty realization now that maybe we should tell her that we're seeing each other. And he's like, no, this isn't a good time. It's like, if it's not a good time, when is a good time to do it? My goodness, my dude. So then there's that going on while she, his girlfriend, is falling more in love with him for some reason. And he's being a distant, like, arrogant twat. And she's like, you know, trying to get cell phones together, and she's trying to make a scarf, and it's like, oh my gosh, she's trying to do all these things, and while he's out here cheating on her, see, they're at the train station right here, and she's on the train heading home from committee, and she instantly glances right there and sees those two kissing and holding and in denial. So then, later on in the episode here, it gets even juicier. We find a third girl, right? A third girl that is interested in this piece of shit. I'm trying to think of her name. I can't think of it. She has a ponytail, longer hair. We've seen her a little bit before. She's also on, like, the student council classroom with our girlfriend here, and she tries to admit it to purple hair because her friends keep begging to find out who the hell she likes, and she's like, no, he's my boyfriend. So then the blonde hair ponytail girl texts him asking if that's true, and he texts back to her, nah. She just keeps saying that. And while this is going on, the friend's friend with the little bow tie, little neighbor girl, she's like, you know, thinking these two are dating, while everybody else thinks that him and his girlfriend are dating. And it's just this huge, continuous, destructive cycle that just makes me want to vomit everywhere. And like I could see why people extremely hate this show. But at the same time, I'm so intrigued right now that it's insane. Okay, now to cap it all off, they're on the roof. The girlfriend was in class, finishing up student council shit, while she's running to the roof, and the friend with the bow tie I was talking about earlier is like, what the hell is she doing? Then she gets to the roof, right? And those two are like the friend and the boy, well, more like F's with B's now. She just yells, "I love you," right? And the girlfriend sees, and the boyfriend replies, and like this is complete symbolism. I 100% guarantee this. You got red balls of yarn, falling out like a heart, and then the fucking steak next to it, dude. Oh my gosh, dude, stuff is gonna get heated. This has been the best episode so far. Let's continue this. Oh my gosh, Oh my gosh, there is a lot to unpack this episode, let me tell you. So I didn't think at first this one was going to be really anything crazy, but Bowie over here, we're just going to call her Bowie. We're not going to tell them actual names, because why even learn them for something that's probably not going to stick with me here. But she ends up taking his phone and blocking his, well, we're gonna keep calling her girlfriend's number, right? Because she wants to look out for her friend, and she knows that, you know, those two should be together. So that's the thing. The girl's still trying to knit a t-shirt for Christmas and shit, 'cause she still thinks they're dating, even though like everybody in the school like knows like they're not, but they are, and like it's really confusing, right? But then she comes to the realization that she's been blocked on the phone, right? And she's obviously not having a good time about it, because like she's done nothing wrong. She's completely done nothing wrong, and she's trying, and she's being a great girlfriend, right? And then like it just so anyways, the committee's going on, and like she goes to find something in the closet with the loser friend that's like the weird dude, and like they're kind of like flirting. It's mostly him flirting with her, and the irony of the whole situation is he's worried about this whole thing, even though he's technically seeing the frem. Weird hair here has a crush on the dude, obviously, still, and it's just like, oh my gosh, the hypocrisy and the freaking irony just wants to drive me up the wall. I'm loving this shit, but at the same time, I don't even know if I just want to keep watching. But then it gets even better, okay? He has the friend over at the house, and the girlfriend stops over to be like, you know, the texts aren't working, what's going on? And he's like, oh, I fixed it. And he unblocks her, right? But the whole time, the friend's in the back room hearing this whole conversation, and the friend was totally fucking right. Like, he should never, ever, ever have unblocked her, because now it seems like he can, we've all known this in the beginning, he's a little cuckboy who can't make a decision for himself. He's like the epitome of useless frickin' F-boy that can't, he's just dumb. He's literally dumb. And like, so then he like has her leave, you know, after promising a dance at the festival. And then the friend, or Sekai, frickin' decides, you know what, this isn't worth it. He can't decide on me, even though that's what he wanted, and he frickin' still has her dragging on the leash and all the guilt and everything. And it's just like, no, I'm out of here, right? But the best part is the ending. The girlfriend waited after she ran out of the house, right? And you know she's got pent-up anger. She's seen this coming for the last like 3 episodes. So then she just comes up and goes, nah, dude, Sapam, dude. She hits her so hard she sends her back to the freaking first episode, man. And then the best part is she cuts. It just cuts, man. I'm so hyped right now. Alright, so this episode was actually pretty cool. It was a change of pace instead of being completely and fully dramatic and like heart-wrenching and like just enough to make you want to blow your head off with just pure stupidity of the cliche harem MC that's ignorant and stupid. But anyways, it was a school festival, you know, maids, cafe drama between all the other classes, and I was like, okay, cool, cool. And then, like, at the same time, we find out the friend, or not the friend, but Bowtie is going to be moving to France, and that she wants to make sure that our idiot MC is going to be able to take care of a friend. But at the same time, she has to make sure girlfriend's completely out of the picture, so that friend can be there with him while she is in France. But she hasn't told the friend yet that she's moving to France, so we got that going on as well. And then at the end of the class festival and everything, some things get damaged, and so he and Bowtie go and get some supplies to fix all the stuff that they got damaged today. And we get this flashback of when the school year started, and she was getting picked on because she was small, and he protects her and tells her, you could be a class president. And sure as shit, she becomes a class president. But we find out that, of course, you have to have this, but she totally has feelings for him. And she's like, I'm just going to give you this kind of like a low-key, creepy reverse role switch would be considered really, really bad scene while he's sleeping. And of course, what happens? The devil doesn't just knock once on your freaking door, right? Girlfriend, out of anybody, comes around the corner and goes, "Oh, great, another girl making out with my boyfriend." And then obviously she didn't want it to see either. It's, oh my gosh, I don't even know what to say anymore. Honestly, when this ending comes, I won't be surprised. Alright, so we have a lot to unpack this episode. More than I expected. I know we're getting close to the finale now. But so essentially, Bowtie ends up sending a truce with all the classes because she gets in trouble. Because of all the destruction they caused the day before. And then she goes to this other play and she takes a break for the day. And like the play is like, I guess like a metaphor of like how she's feeling and like exactly what happened, where like it's like, is that what she wants? Like selfish desires and all that stuff. And then later on, we're getting like, girlfriend is getting teased by all of the other girls from the class that have been teasing him, including Ponytail. That obviously he's not her boyfriend. He's never coming, and like it has been the whole time. It just hasn't clicked with her yet. So then we get fuckface over here, the friend that has a crush on her, but he doesn't know what's going on, just like everybody else. And like, he's just being all passive about it, and he's like, oh, but I thought, okay, never mind, what you do, you keep your distance if you don't know what the hell's going on. So then our main character ends up taking a little break from working in the class, and Ponytail essentially asks him if he's gonna take her to the dance, and he never gives her an assertive answer because friend comes and she gives her the death glare because she knows what this other girl's intention is, which is pretty freaking obvious. For some reason, all piece of shit MCs, like I've said, draw all these girls, which never made sense to me. Like what's his nuts from High School DxD? I think it's East-K. I can't remember, but either way, you get all these MCs that are just undesirable, and for some reason, all these girls come into it, knowing all these other girls are into it, but they're still fine with it because of the guy. But anyways, so that happened. And then she kind of goes outside after that and sees the other guy there. And they give each other like this pep talk. She's like, why are you here? It's like, because everybody's in a couple. And she's like, yeah, they are. But guess what? You like girlfriend, right? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, be a man. Stop being a little bitch and go fucking tell her. He's obviously not interested. So there's that. And while that's all happening, he's like, you know what? Maybe I'll grow some nuts and do it. And good for him. So then the girls are out there pestering the girlfriend. And he's not coming. The dance is starting soon. Then Ponytail somehow convinced him and pulled him into this restroom that's like this thing at the festival that they have every year where just couples just go to like screw. And like that's right next to Girlfriend. Like not very far at all. And like he's back there like screwing her, Ponytail. And like it doesn't show it, but it's very highly insinuated. And like that happens. They go to the fire dance, him and Friend, and they're dancing, and she pretty much asks him if she's his girlfriend. He doesn't really reply yet. Bowtie's back there quoting the play from earlier, probably like accepting this but hating the fact that it happened. And then a friend somehow actually is like making out with Girlfriend. Idiot Friend, not obviously Girlfriend. I should have called them from their names from the beginning. I just didn't want to freaking have to say their names 100 times. But long story short, this episode was jam-packed, okay? This finale is gonna get heated. But like, man, this episode is setting up this finale. Which obviously this far in, you kind of expect that. But holy crap. Alright, folks. This episode's got everything. First things first. The friend tries to confront Girlfriend, idiot Friend, and asks her if she wants to go to, a Christmas dinner, because they did just kind of get it on. And she's like, nah, I'm still dating MC. And we're like, huh. Okay. I mean, as the audience, we all know what the hell's going on. But things in this episode get a little sticky. So he actually breaks up with her. Finally grows the balls to do it, right? And then while he's doing that, Girlfriend's like, by the way, she kissed you while you were sleeping, and I'm gonna go tell Friend. It's pretty much what I'm implying. I'm getting out of her implications out of this. And like, Bowtie's like, no, the fuck if you do. And she just takes things into her own hands and just starts sucking face. Because like I said earlier, we know that Bowtie also likes it because of what he did earlier. But like, she's also leaving and putting everything into his hands to make sure that Sekai, our friend, is safe. So like, oh my gosh, we got that going. And while all that's going, we find out that, MC is still screwing Ponytail. He thought it was just a one-off thing, whatever. Well, he's screwing her on the side still. So he broke up with Girlfriend, still seeing Friend that is technically now his girlfriend, and Ponytail, right? But now we get to this point where, like, he's kind of over Friend, and, like, he's, like, into Ponytail now. So he's got this, like, he's not like a I wouldn't say, obviously that's the wrong word, we'd say klepto, because that's, but like, he's just a whore. He's a good for nothing whore, is what he is. And it's infuriating. So all this is going on, right? Friend actually got invited from one of her classmates to go to some party thing, for the basketball team, right? And so she's at that. Friend is pretty much ready to move, Bowtie is pretty much ready to leave. But as she has to figure out to make sure that he's going to take care of Sekai, because she caught him in the storage shed. She was standing outside, but she didn't want to say anything. And so that's going on, right? So she knows a lot of shit. But she really does only want to take care of her friend, which is amazing. But while she's gone, she needs to know he'll actually do it. She's telling him to break up with the other girl, which makes sense. He doesn't make up his damn mind. But then she gives the offer of, look, okay, if you break up with the other girl and promise me you'll stay with Sekai, you can pretty much screw me, because he forces himself onto her, in my opinion, yet again, at least mentally. And it's like, dude, oh my gosh. So while that's going on, it turned out that the basketball team actually, well, we got a kind of premonition of this earlier, but they set up a camera in that restroom and filmed everybody doing things in there, right? Because they wanted to catch him in the act and stuff. and the friend that invited her, her boyfriend was getting a blowjob from some other chick, and she sees that ponytail, friend sees that ponytail was screwing him in there. So he's getting all caught up in this now. It's finally coming on to him. And she's trying to get to his house to figure everything out. Friends passing by right there. She's going that way. So they'll never see each other again. They did their thing, you know. That was like that good old metaphor of like, I'm sorry, I screwed your boyfriend just to make sure that he takes care of you. Bye. As this is going on, we got a little premiere earlier of her girlfriend in the kitchen with knives with her little sister there. And you can hear the rattling now, right? And they meet here. And that's the end of it. Like, oh my gosh, dude. She is going to chop everybody up. Oh my gosh. I'm actually pretty excited because out of anybody, she really got screwed. Completely screwed. And like, she should have been the one. Like, it just should have been just a nice, classy little rom-com. But that's fine. We like psycho, weird ass shit, and I am very excited to see where these last 2 episodes go. It's giving me goosey vibes, and I'm all for it. Oh, so this episode, holy crap! The title of this episode is everybody's Makatun, or MC, and as you can see, it starts off. He's screwing weird ponytails, not just regular ponytails, weird ponytails. A little girl that had like a interest in his friend earlier on, the fuckface. And so that happens right off the bat. He's already screwed another chick, right? He's already screwed the whole friend group. Let's just keep going, right? And while this is all happening, friend hasn't came to school in a hot minute. Because as I said earlier, she's seen the tape with him screwing ponytail. But we kind of also find out here, which I kind of had a hunch, but friend's pregnant. She's prego with MC dumbass's baby. Snow Weird Ponytails is like, look, man, you gotta go apologize to her. We're done seeing each other. This is stupid. Goodbye. And he, for some reason, he's acting like, you know, he's the victim so far. Even though everything he has done has caused himself all this pain, right? And so now on top of that, we got girlfriend over here at the park, right? Having a phone call with MC, but it's literally not a phone call because as you can see, it's not connecting because you guys are blocked. But she's having this full conversation. Her eyes are still that dark, ominous color, like she's obviously completely freaking lost it, right? Ironically, the 3 girls that are friends with Ponytail come over to his house, right? And all 3 of them fuck him. Because they feel like they're missing out because like half this school has had sex with this man, right? Just 3 friends. And that one of them has a boyfriend that she's always bragging about, but they all 3 screw him, right? Like, what's so great about this whiny, selfish, arrogant prick's dick? Who knows? Okay? Who knows? But apparently they all are, okay? And so now girlfriend's at the park, or at this big Christmas festival now, right? She's going more insane. Like, completely insane. She's having this conversation on the phone with MC, but it flashes to the phone, and the phone's not even on anymore. Like, it's dead. That's how long she's tried calling and just waiting. The phone has now died, okay? These are mid-2000s flip phones, man. They lasted, like, 3 days. Okay, so there's that. There's the initial puke of the pregnancy. This arrogant asshole asks if she's gonna do anything with the pregnancy because she tells him in class that she's pregnant. And so, what, you gonna do something about it? And she's like, it's my kid. It's our kid. Fuck off. And the whole school knows now, right? So, Ponytail comes by and she's like, he instantly is like, he's not giving friend any attention. Like, at all, even though she's pregnant and everything with his kid. And so she comes over, and he's like, if it's about Sekai, it's not my fault. And she's like, yeah, okay, so you're a piece of shit. Deuces, right? So there's that. So he's out in the park, like, calling all these girls, like, every one of them, like, all, like, 50,000 of them. And nobody's answering the phone. Because it's anonymous now that, okay, friend is having a baby with him. So we should probably stop screwing him. Plus, it's bad for our reputation. And he gets to the park, right, accidentally, freaking out, you know, self-loathing, like it's everything bad's happening to him, even though he's the real piece of shit. And girlfriend's there, clearly twacked out, still just talking gibberish, and, you know, coincidentally he's looking through his phone, and then he sees her. But, like, he can tell she's just going crazy. But then the color comes back to her eyes at the very end, and it's coming to an end. Last episode, extremely hype. Here we go. So we have entered the final chapter of School Days. So, what's going on this time around? Well, it looks like friend is cooking dinner at the house, you know, with the pregnancy and everything, you know, she just wants to have a family meal. Well, MC is kind of obviously still out there with girlfriend, but lying to her, obviously. And, you know, justifiably, she's not very happy about this, okay? So, we got, just keep that in mind. Now, he's getting all pissy and saying that she's all selfish because, you know, he's being a whore and, like, seeing the first girl again while, you know, all this is going on. Well, friend comes back after girlfriend's at the house after she sees him at the train station, and so a fight begins. Okay, a pretty understandable fight. Okay, obviously she's pregnant with this kid. She's trying to come in and wreck it. But here's the thing. It's legitimately what she did to her in the first part of this story. So everything she has coming is reaping what they sow. But the more weird part is that they start making out, like hard making out right in front of her to like prove a point, right? And it's like, what the hell is this shit? Like, I get proving a point, but then they just had to go and rub it, right? So she's on the train home having like the same vision that her friend did earlier, where it's like, you know, it's like a metaphor of a flower. Yeah, so pretty much like, I have this flower and I want you to have it, and I will, you know, I'm going to teach you how to pick it and how to get it. And then essentially you took it back because you wanted it for yourself. It's hypocrisy at its finest. And she also did find out in this episode about her friend ended up liking him too. She found out Bowtie liked MC from girlfriend. So that all happened this episode too, but obviously Bowtie's gone in France. But like, it's just like this whole show is like reap what you sow type of stuff, and I'm all for it, right? It's so good. Like, after school the next day, friend says, look, we need to talk, we gotta figure this out. Girlfriend was talking to MC about hospitals the night before, about getting, I'm assuming, an abortion or a termination to take care of it. And she's like, well, we need to talk. And so she comes to the house, sends a text to his phone, right, saying like, I'm sorry, I'm about to murder your ass and we're never gonna see each other again, so you deserved every second of this. Screw you, man. You've effed with everybody. And you know what? In my opinion, is the most satisfying death that I've actually seen in an anime in quite a long time. The fact that the woman gets the guts to be like, you know what, I've had enough of you screwing with me and everybody, but mostly me, even though I was a hypocrite, but you had it coming, right? Like, she goes ham. So then girlfriend comes to the apartment, and finds his dead body there, right? And as you expected, she's already in the loony bin, right? Like, she kind of corrected a little bit after getting her self-gratification from Boy Toy, but she's clearly in the loony bin. And so she texts friend to, like, yo, meet me on the roof right now, okay? Which, for some reason, she's stupid enough to do. But, you know, for everything that's happened, I'm not surprised what any of these people do in this show, though, because they're all just so oblivious and stupid. So, now girlfriend is accusing friend of saying that the baby's fake, which, honestly, I'm kind of not surprised by, you know? Let's be honest, these girls would do anything at this point to get his attention, which is so sad. So sad. But, like, we find out that girlfriend took his head, cut it off, and put it in that duffel bag, right? And then she's just whining about, like, you know, I did everything for him. I just wanted him. And it's like, well, then why did you hook us up then? Because you're a selfish whore. And honestly, right here, this is probably one of my favorite parts of this whole series. She pulls out the bone saw, right? And she's like, I don't believe you. So then she legitimately slices her she takes the knife out, slices her head, and digs inside of her, right? To see that there's absolutely no baby. And oh my gosh, this was honestly one of the best scenes ever. And, like, I could see how this show is so critically acclaimed. Well, we're going to get to that here. Just give me a moment. Boy, that was a hard package to unpack right there. Honestly, my final thoughts and reviews on School Days would be, I'm personally going to give it like a 7 out of 10. It's definitely not top ranking at all. I'd want to give it an 8, but I honestly want to give it a 7.5, but obviously on Mal, you can't give it half scores, which sucks. But I could see where people give it 10s, 5s, or 0s, like the most common scores. I could see every single one of those. It's got the internal conflict of extremely hating the MC. You got that. You've got your romance, you know, for a little bit before it gets all hoary and shit. You've got your kind of your school gym rom-com festival thing going on. And you've got a slightly, I wouldn't say high tier like Neon Genesis, but like some mid-tier psychological things going on, especially at the end, the last quarter of the series. It builds up so fantastic and sporadically, while for a while you're definitely just not thinking that's what's going to happen. At least I didn't personally. I mean, like, I knew something was going to happen, okay? Especially after that first little cutesy week lasted. I knew something was going down. But I didn't think it was going to be that crazy. And let me tell you, 100% worth it. I personally recommend go watching it. I have nothing more else to say, really. I think that video pretty much explained everything the best that it could. Go watch it. Don't listen to what other people say. I mean, you don't have to listen to what I say. You don't have to go watch it. But I think you should. I give it, like I said, 7.5 out of 10. Was the hype there? Yeah. Was it the hype that people were saying? No. I thought it was pretty good, actually. Surprised me. Granted, I was pissed the whole time because I hated the MC, but that made the ending climax that much better. They did a good job. Like I said, recommend it. If you enjoyed, give it a like. Give me a sub. Anything helps. I will be back soon for the next video. Thanks for staying. Thanks for waiting. Have a good one. Peace.